Hey everybody, welcome back to Ovals and Oversharing. I'm Amalia.
And I'm Morgan, and on today's episode, we have a very special guest for you all. Our first college roommate ever, best friend. She completes the trio. So we have Reina. So, Reina, introduce
Hey,
yourself.
hey everybody, I'm Reina. I went to college with Morgan and Amalia. It's kind of funny because we all three lived together our freshman year, and then separately I lived with Morgan, and then separately I lived with Amalia. But I was with one of them all 4.5 years of my college career. I'm opposite to them, not in college running anymore. I live in the Boston area, probably 30 minutes away from Amalia. I'm a nurse, and I just kind of hang out. But yeah, I am friends with Amalia and Morgan through college running, and we're still friends today. So yeah.
It's epic. Yeah. I feel like, all of us had, different roommates throughout college, we lived in different places with different people. But the three of us, I was kind of thinking about, the three of us, we were definitely, a core group, Like, it was, freshman year, sophomore year, and then we lived with, Nicole, and then, then me and Raina lived together, and then you and Amalia lived together. We were all together at some point, So,
Yeah, we definitely would have, I feel like, all been roommates, but the housing number was a weird number.
yeah.
So we ended up having to separate because the apartments we lived in would either only have 3 rooms when there was 4 of us, and then we had to split up, or me and Amalia got an apartment together off campus, and then you ended up living with other girls in the team. So
yeah.
the trio was always somehow in rotation for the whole time, but never freshman and sophomore year we were all together, and then after that it kind of got jumbled up.
Yeah, no, it was I liked when you guys lived together, in that same apartment complex. Your last year here, Anna. I guess that was both of you guys' last year, but then I would just go over there and make myself at home and just rot on your couch.
I love it. I love when I get back and you'd be there, and I was like, oh, this is good. Yeah, I feel like even when we weren't all together, we literally lived in the same building / within 200 feet of each other. So
because even the year that you two lived together, I was just underneath you.
Yeah, it wasn't ever we were super far from each other. So
yeah, that is true.
Even now, this is the furthest we've been, but I feel like we're all still super close, which is good.
Yeah, it's definitely a different situation.
Out of Boston anyway, so
yeah.
I know. The whole friend group is gonna reconnect in Boston, hopefully.
I know.
It's great. Seriously, it's great.
But yeah, I think, one thing that I wanted to talk about, we got, I think, just really lucky, because from the very beginning, we all just clicked, and it was, I don't think that happens a lot, and we just kind of, and they always say don't room with your friends, right? But it's we became best friends from being roommates.
Yeah.
So
well, we weren't friends before. I didn't know you guys at all.
I know, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I felt when I committed to Adams State, I asked the assistant coach. I was like, "Hi, I want to room with girls on the team. Can you give me some of their contact information?" And so I remember he gave me your guys' stuff. I had another roommate that was on the team that we lived with, and I remember I was like, okay, this is either going to be a great situation or an awful situation. And I feel half the time you hear about roommates that don't oh, my freshman year roommate was horrible, or oh, my freshman year roommate was so weird. And I was a little bit scared, but it worked out.
Yeah. I definitely thought Morgan was gonna be crazy because she was posting on her story just wild. What was it?
College.
Just screaming, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to be in the same dorm as this girl. She seems so loud, and but I thought you'd be loud, party crazy, but you weren't. So
yeah, freshman year I was the exact opposite of that.
I was scared of Morgan, seriously. I was like, this girl seems crazy, maybe not even crazy, but just weird.
It's because my
got it first. I was like, can I have this?
My Snapchat, it's because my Snapchat, I just post everything on Snapchat, and if you don't know me and you add me on Snapchat, I do probably look crazy, but I'm just trying to be funny all the time. But Yeah, I remember. So this is like a fun story. I was the last one to get to college because, and this is just so on character for the rest of like everything. Like, of course, I was the last one, and I'm like on my way to Alamosa with all my shite in the back, and our other roommate at the time, Jessica, texts me, and she was like pissed. She was so mad at you guys because, like, I think it was Reina and Jessica.
Not me. I got there first. Got there to school like a week early, and I had my whole, okay, this is again very like describes our personality. I had my whole room like set up, like the floor was like very trendy, like I had a color scheme, and Jessica was supposed, so like how it worked is there were 2 rooms that had a bath, like literally right next to each other, and they had like a little corridor that connected to the bathroom and like sink area and the outside. And technically, on paper, me and Jessica were supposed to be together in one room, and then Morgan and Amalia were supposed to be together.
But they were both scared of me, so they didn't want to be my roommate, and I was the last one to get to college. So then I think Jessica called me, and she was like, hey, so those other 2 girls already roomed together. Like, she was so mad at you guys, and I was just like, I'm not even there yet. Like, I hope, like, I can even get into the freaking dorm tonight. And so then me and Jessica ended up being roommates, which was, like, it worked out great and probably for the best, like, anyways, just the way our personalities all were. But the first, like, day or 2, like, I wanted to, like, be your guys' friend, but I was, like, supposed to be mad at you, and so I didn't really know how to act, so that was, like, definitely. But it all worked out for the best.
It did.
Yeah. So I do think it was meant to be the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, like, now, like, even, like, me and Jessica are still tight. I don't know if you guys still talk to Jessica, but, like, I'll go get a beer with her or something, and, like, it'll be fine. And, like...
no, I talked to Jessica. I haven't talked to her since I left, but...
Yeah, same.
Crazy.
Yeah, it worked out. And I feel like we were lucky, too, in the sense that, like, besides that little... Like, it took a day or 2.
Yeah.
But we all, like, hit it off very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it didn't... I feel like after maybe, like, 2 days, it wasn't awkward. So
yeah. It ended up being just, like, I felt like iconic, you know? Like, it was, like, just, of course, the 4 of us. Yeah. Very different personalities across the board. But it worked out, so. Okay, so let's do, each of us tells a little, your favorite story from rooming together in general. All, like, geez, I don't know. It can be freshman year, sophomore year, whatever. That actually is hard. I need to think about this.
I think I got it. I don't know if this is my favorite, but this is, like, stands out to me.
I guess it also doesn't even have to be, like, just, like, you know, just our time in college together. But, okay, go for it.
No, this was, like, specific rooming. This was more like a week or 2 weeks. And it was just crazy. Like, one thing on top of the other. It was during COVID, the COVID fall, when we, like, didn't go to there was no nationals, and, like, no nationals cross-country. We sucked at conference. Like, we got 4th at conference. And, like, coach was mad at us. We sucked. And then we had our little party, and then everybody got in trouble. But, so it was, like, you got called into his office about the party. The whole team got in trouble. Like, there was no practice for a week or something. And it was during COVID. And then, like, 2 days later, you got COVID. And me and Reina didn't have COVID. And we were just locked in that apartment for, like, 7 straight days together. And I remember just, like, watching so many random movies on the TV. And we got that stationary bike in there. We had to bring us our groceries. And we got in trouble for going for a walk, like, with our masks on and, like, alone.
Was that when the bugs were in the bed, too? Or was that a separate time?
No, that was, like, the next year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but... And then, what else? Oh, and I was, like, making you guys dinner, and I was, like, making bread, and cooking it up, and we were just locked in there, and then Morgan got to leave because, like, her quarantine ended.
And I was the only one who had COVID.
Yeah, we never got tested, like, 4 different times, and me and Reina were always negative, and we still had to be in there for, like, another week.
Yeah.
It was, like, 14 days.
Yeah,
low-key, I was felt
and
guilty.
And you got to go home for Thanksgiving, and me and Reina were stuck in the apartment.
And they would bring us, like, the food from the cafeteria, and we'd be like, it would be, like, our daily, like, appearance. We'd be like, oh! that's when I posted on the Ovals and Oversharing Instagram of you with your bangs.
Oh,
like,
yeah, bro, we were
like,
so bored.
Yeah,
we were
so bored. Oh, that was a good time.
Those couches, we were just, like, stinking it up on those nasty couches that we, like...
How many farts do you think are in those couches?
And crumbs and...
Yeah.
It's, like, very memorable, though. I don't know if that's my favorite, but it was memorable.
That was peak COVID, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was on my deathbed for, like, 2 days, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try a stationary bike, because everybody had, like, I was so scared about running, because, like, I thought my heart was gonna explode or something. Like, that was the rumor. And so I was like, okay, I'll just bike, which is probably not even any smarter. But I remember getting on the bike, and I was like, like, I couldn't breathe. But, yeah.
Yeah. We watched that, like, tsunami movie. It's, like,
Is that when we watched the Zodiac Killer movie,
was
too?
that with Circa, maybe? Like, Circa told about that movie?
So, yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
What's yours? Anyone?
You go, Reina.
I don't even know. I feel like there's not, like, one day where I'm like, oh, this was, like, the most memorable day of, like, our friendship. I feel like our freshman year was always busy and, like, very exciting. I feel like, again, we got lucky with just, like, the freshman class that we were in. And, like, everything we did was super memorable. Like, even, like, just going to breakfast or going to dinner every single day with each other.
We would spend, like, hours in the cafeteria.
Yeah, so fun.
We were freaks, or, like, going to campus with, like, our group of friends, like.
Because also the boys, like, we came in with such a good class. Like, the boys we came in with became, like, our brothers.
Yeah, I'm, like, trying to think of, like, specific moments, but, like, even the summers were fun. Like, the summer that Morgan and Andrew started talking was such a fun summer, and then, like, I don't even know, like, we're gonna talk, I think, about it on this, is going to California to get, like, that one is memorable. Going to California together. It's, like, so many things.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, freshman year was iconic. The only thing that I get sad if I think too hard about is, like, I wish, like, we could have had those last, like, 3 months.
Oh my gosh, because
I don't know, I was ready. Guys, we were homesick.
Low-key same. I was getting, like, really, like, homesick, kind of. But right before spring break, we went and, like, jumped in the river all together. Do you remember that?
And it was freezing.
But it was so fun. Like, that was just so... And then Amalia and I left to go to that Oxy Distance Carnival race. And on our way there, that's when everything started to get shut down. And then
like,
it was
like...
like...
driving, we were like, oh!
Yeah!
The airport shut down. Oh, the meet's canceled. Oh!
Yeah, so then, like... After that, we didn't see each other for months, you know? And, like, that was kind of sad. But, like, yeah. But then that summer was fun. That we all did get to come back, so.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this just popped in my head. It's, like, not even that. I was also gonna bring up the fact that we would just go on bike rides, like, all the time. Our freshman year.
Fun.
Like, we would all just, like, at nighttime.
Or, like... Now that I'm thinking about it, like, we used to have to travel, because we were redshirted.
Oh, yeah.
We traveled to, like, Grand Junction and Colorado Springs all the time, and then also the New Mexico trip, where I was like, I can't be friends with these girls.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably, honestly, now that I think back, that's a memorable trip.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Every one of those trips was iconic.
Yeah.
Dude, when Amalia and I would share your mom's bed, like, in the guest room.
Let's just give them some context for that. So, okay, I'm originally from New Mexico. New Mexico is, like, 4 hours away from us. So there was one day that a meet in New Mexico, and we were like, oh, we're gonna go race it, great. Or no, my brother was racing at Junior National. So we didn't even go to race, we just went to spectate, but we were like, oh, fun little trip. So we drove down, we get there, we watched the meet, and we had this plan, we all planned it, like, oh, we're gonna stay until Sunday, we'll drive back on Sunday. Well, right after the meet, like, I'm like, okay, great, like, I get to see my family, this is gonna be so great. Amalia and Morgan are like, we wanna leave.
Okay, but also a little backstory, we were so hangry. Like, we should have just eaten and, like, held our emotions together, but we were...
also, like, the reason that, like, thought even, like, triggered in my brain was because I think Megan was like, oh, yeah, like, I thought about staying, but I think I need to get back for the long run.
Yes.
And I was like, oh,
me too. No. brain operates, and it's actually so unhealthy. Because we were like, no, everything has to be sacrificed for this long run in Alamosa. Do you know how many long runs in Alamosa we've had?
I know. So then they were like, we want to leave. And I was like, I drove them in my car. So, like, if they want to leave, I have to take them. My family was waiting, I had plans to stay with my family till Sunday. And I was like, so I felt bad. And I was like, okay, like, I guess we can go. Like, that's fine. And so then also at that time, the state meet was going on. Oh, and so they were like, oh, we'll go to the state meet. We'll go to the state meet with you. And I was like, oh, great, this is going to be so fun. We got to the state meet, and they were so mean. I remember Morgan. I saw somebody I knew was like, oh, Rena. And I was just trying to be nice. I was like, oh, hi, how's it going? And I hear Morgan like, what did you say?
I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I was...
Another person, like...
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, so then, it was just, they were so angry and so grumpy, and then, like, I was so sad, because I was like, my family, like, I wanted to see my family, I haven't seen them in months.
No, and then fast forward, me and Amalia find a different ride back to Alamosa. Fetty, yes. Yes, it was like Fetty and like somebody else and Circa.
And Bailey and Devin. No,
yeah.
Yeah.
So we all meet at the Flying Star Cafe, like just a restaurant. Fetty comes and picks me and Circa up, and last minute Amalia goes, I'm actually gonna stay. And so then she ends up staying. And I was like, this...
No, I didn't stay.
No, she didn't stay. She didn't end up. But she did say, wait, yeah. Morgan, like, maybe we should just stay after all this commotion that they caused.
I thought you did end up staying.
No, because I remember on the way back, and it was like, the music was so loud, and my head was against the door that, like, I could feel
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And after that, I was like, I don't want to be friends with them.
But look, we're still friends, and we apologize.
I feel really bad.
Yeah, so after that whole thing, I was like, yep, I'm a bitch. Like, for sure.
No, I was like, damn, really? And then I don't even know, the long run, I don't even remember the long run, so clearly it wasn't.
I don't even think I had a good long run that day, probably. Like,
I probably did like 10 miles. Like,
yeah, that's not a memorable day for me, for sure. A traumatic day, for sure.
But we're still best friends, so it doesn't matter.
We are. I got over it.
Oh, classic, seriously. Okay, a little short memory that I was gonna say was, remember when we were making those meatballs? So our junior year, we had this, like, staple meal. All three of us, we started making it at Mitch's house. These, like, soy sauce and garlic meatballs, so good. We would just have it, like, with rice and asparagus or broccoli or something. And one day we made them, and we were, like, chowing on these grapes. And I don't know at the time, like, maybe grapes were recalled for having some kind of disease or something. But we were chowing on the grapes, making the meatballs, and then we started eating, and all of us at the same time started feeling nauseous. And then I think we just started egging each other on. We were like, I feel sick. Da, da, da. So then we didn't eat anything, and then it was just terrible.
I remember, I literally that was, like, recently I got the memories for that, and I sent it. Because Raina started, like, taking off your pants. Like,
I had spandex on underneath.
Yeah, you were wearing shorts, but, like...
Yeah.
And then Sadie was like, Sadie is our assistant coach. She's like, like, grapes are giving people food poisoning. And we were like,
yeah, so that was a good time. But, okay, the greatest story of all, let's do a recap of our California trip.
Okay.
I guess.
The bad part.
Huh?
Not the bad parts.
Not the bad parts.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. We don't keep it that real on here. So
Okay.
I guess for starters, so this is backstory. Sacramento, California was where Cross Country Nationals was in 2019. And we were all redshirt freshmen, so we were obviously not competing. And I don't even remember it being a big deal at the beginning of the season that, like, we were going to go. Like, it never was, like, a huge plan. And then Kaylee, we were, like, running with Kaylee one day, and she was like, well, wait, are you guys going to go? And we were like, oh, I don't know, like, maybe. And she was like, no, you guys should go and, like, vlog it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I vlog. Like, I have one from high school. So then we started talking about, like, when we're going to leave and blah, 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 started making the plan. Boom, we're going to Sacramento. And we drove all 17 hours. And kind of, we didn't really caravan with the boys, but we were like kind of all in it together. So that's the reason we went.
Also, I think to add to that is we were very dumb freshmen. Like, we didn't think anything through at this point. And so, like, when we made this plan, it was very fluid. Like, Amalia, you booked the Airbnb, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Amalia booked the Airbnb, and we were going to stay at it, and, like, some of the freshman boys were going to stay there, too. And I remember, like, okay, we're going to leave. I think we ended up leaving on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday night. Wednesday night?
It was a night. I know that. It was, like, after school, like, 3 p.m.
Yeah, anyway, we were going to leave in the morning, and then all of a sudden we had this bright idea, like, oh, no, let's leave at night. Like, it'll be so much better if we leave at night. Like, I don't know why, and we all were like, yeah, that sounds great, let's do that. We're going to stay up all night, and we're going to drive the 16 hours to Sacramento.
And we did that.
Yeah, it's going to be so great. And so we were like, it was the 4 of us in a car. It was Amalia, Morgan, me, and then another girl on the team. Her name was Circa. Circa can't drive because she's Irish. She does not have a ID. She has not passed her driver's test. She can now, but she couldn't at the time. And so it was us 3 that were going to have to do all the driving. And we're like, oh, we'll do it in shifts. Well, don't know how this worked out again either, because Amalia and Morgan were on a shift together. Me and Circa, the one that cannot drive, is also on a shift. And Amalia and Morgan were like, oh, we'll take the first shift. Great. I was like, great, that sounds great. I'll take the second shift. But what we didn't realize is I would get the shift, like, literally through the night. Like at midnight, I think I took over. And Morgan, I remember, like, trying to sleep. But Morgan and Amalia were so loud. Like, they were just excited, like, chatting, laughing. And I'm like, I sleep in the back seat because I knew I was going to have the night shift, basically. And so that's how our trip started, with one, just like that chaos of driving through the night.
Yeah, so then we get to, like, California, and I'm, like, passed out in the back seat. And, like,
I know, somehow it ended up that me and Reina were on the last shift, like, from, like, 4 a.m. to, like, 8 a.m. And
it's because you got that stupid iced coffee at the gas station. You're like, stock?
Yeah, and Circa was falling asleep. She had one job.
Yeah.
She did not fall asleep. She was so
Yeah, Circa slept the entire time.
Watching that, like, Great British, like, baking show, and, like, falling asleep. I was like, Circa, come on, girl.
Oh, yeah, that was classic. But I remember we woke up in Sacramento, like, pretty early, right? It was, like, 7 a.m. or something. Mm-hmm. And we weren't able to get into our Airbnb, like, in the beginning, so we stopped at the team's hotel to, like, freshen up and, like, take a nap or something, but none of us took a nap there. Like, I remember brushing my teeth in the hotel bathroom, and then we
never actually made it to any of the upperclassmen's rooms.
No, because the boys were smart. They went and slept in their rooms, and, like, we were just like, okay, we'll just stop here for the shits and gigs, and then we're gonna leave and go somewhere else. So we did. We went to, like, Walmart and Target.
Yeah.
And
we
3
were, like,
coffee shops.
Yeah,
like, slept in the park and.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! And remember, we went to that one coffee shop and Circa, like, door dinged the lady's car.
Oh my god! Yes.
I feel like we should walk them through the morning alone. So yeah, we got there at 7. We went to the team's hotel, like, just basically said hi, brushed our teeth, and left. And then we went to one coffee shop, got some coffee. We went to Target. Okay, and then great. We did all these tasks. It was literally like, what, 10 o'clock?
And we couldn't get into the Airbnb yet.
Till 3.
Yeah.
So it was like 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we still had nowhere to go, and we were so sleepy, like, none of us could stay awake. And so we're like, okay, we just need to find, like, a nice area to, like, sleep in. So then we try and go to this park that clearly, like, no person that's sleeping on the ground should be there.
We were literally homeless. Yeah,
like, the signs say, like, no,
loitering or whatever.
Loitering, yeah. And we're there, like, in sweatpants, like...
We looked terrible.
Yeah, we looked awful. Like, we hadn't been slept anywhere nice in days. It was rough. And then, okay, great. We took, like, an hour-long nap.
And then I had to pee, remember?
Yeah. So then we were like, okay, great, let's go to another coffee shop. So we go to another coffee shop, and Circa's getting out of the car, and, like, I don't even remember seeing it or, like, what happened, but maybe she, like, side dinged another car, opened her door too wide, and, like, hit the other car, and she's Irish, she's foreign, so like, this lady starts, like, yelling at her, like, what the heck, what did you do? And then Circa's like, I have cash. You want the cash?
Didn't your insurance get billed also, Amalia, for that?
I don't remember, but like it was so little. Like I feel like I could have like
licked it off. Like,
licked it off the car.
Yeah.
She was definitely just petty, but like yeah, the funniest part was Circa's like, oh, let me just pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we go to the coffee shop, and then the other people that came to California are like, oh, we're at this mall. Like, come to this mall. Like, it's a very nice mall.
Yeah.
So then we go to this like very nice mall, like in the middle of California, and we look awful at this point. Like we've been up for like 24 hours, have not showered.
We didn't even do anything at the mall either.
Yeah, none of us had money. We were all so poor.
Yeah.
So
and then, okay, so then when we're leaving the mall, do you remember Amalia was driving and Circa was trying to give directions?
Oh my gosh.
And we just kept going in circles. Like,
oh my gosh,
I was like, finally, like, I'll do the freaking mapping. We get to the Airbnb and Amalia's like undressed because you were so overstimulated.
I was so hot and angry. I was like taking off every shirt I had. I was like in my sports bra or whatever. It
was like a bralette.
I know, because I was so hot.
Yeah, that was funny. Is Reina frozen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she left.
Maybe she'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
They won nationals.
But yeah, so then that night, we finally get to the Airbnb and like, everything's fine. Welcome back, Reina.
Sorry, I don't know why I just like cut out, and then you guys were like frozen, and I was like, I don't know if they know that I cannot hear anything.
No, your face was just like. So anyways, we get to the Airbnb and everybody's like pulling up. It's like party central. It's really fun. We like stay up pretty late before the race, and then we go to the race, and that was the time the women they tied the D2 record for the lowest cross country score, which was like super cool to see. And then after that, everybody's like covered in green paint and glitter and disgusting, including the boys. And so then the boys go to the Airbnb and they get in the hot tub.
Oh, yeah.
With their green paint and stuff on. And then Amalia gets an email on our way back from Sacramento from the owner of the Airbnb and was like, chewed her out about the green.
And I was like, bro, I didn't even know they freaking did. Oh, boys. I hate boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also remember the guys on the team were like, oh, we're just going to wake up whenever and drive back. And I was like, no, I want to leave. Like, I am done having fun. Like, this is not fun anymore. One, we haven't slept in days. I've been trying to sleep for days. Like, I cannot sleep. And so we were like, I was like, I will take we are leaving at, what did we say? Like 3 in the morning?
I think 5? So, yeah.
I think we left at 4 a.m.
Okay, I was like, we are leaving at 4 a.m. Like, I will take the first shift. You guys can all sleep in the, like, back seat of the car. Like, I do not care. We are getting out of here. And, like, I made this be known. I, like, let everybody in the house know. I was like, we are leaving at 4 a.m. So loud. Everybody, that night, I was like, I'm going to wake up and drive us. Like, just let me sleep. Like, please just let me sleep. No, everybody in the house was so loud.
Yeah, because then I remember that one of the boys was, like, banging spoons together, saying, like, he needed to go get you up, Morgan. And we were like, no.
Like, let her sleep.
She's sleeping.
But then, okay, so this was the funniest part, I think, about that morning. We're getting into the car, ready to leave, and Circa's like, Circa's like, anybody want some chocolate? And, and we're all like, no. And I have this on video, and she says it, she's like, anybody want some chocolate? And, like, she offered us the chocolate, and then it was the wet wipes, too. It was the wet wipes and chocolate that she offered us, like, 50 million times. And then, yeah, we had a very eventful ride on the way back home, and
we made it, though.
We did make it. Yeah.
I believe so, but
yeah, so that's our, honestly, I think.
You can watch it on YouTube, at Morgan's YouTube.
Like my very first vlog, you'll have to scroll all the way down, but that's where it all started.
It's probably as chaotic as we are telling the story.
Yeah, it's my favorite vlog. I go back and watch it sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. I watched it before this Nationals because it was in Sacramento, and I, like, wanted to cry because we were all so little.
I'm gonna watch it after this, actually, so. Morgan Hikes on YouTube. Or Morgan O'Keefe now.
Also,
crazy.
The rooming situation, there was not enough rooms in that Airbnb. Because I remember it was the 3 of us in one room, in one bed.
Yeah.
And there was like a little pull out. There was a little like remember like a pull out under the bed, and that was my bed. And then it was like no, 4 of us in a bed because it was Circa in that bed too.
I slept on the floor one night because I remember I used a towel as a blanket.
There was just no room. Like, it was pretty brutal.
Also, Amalia was like, we were like, let's go to Chipotle. And then it's like,
oh, yeah.
I don't like Chipotle. And we were like, oh my god.
Maybe I do, actually.
And then, because all you wanted was frozen yogurt. That's all you wanted.
Oh, yeah,
and so we're like, Amalia. Yes, yeah, and we were like, Amalia, let's go to Chipotle because it's a frozen yogurt place, right? Like, that was the only we were getting you to go get food with us.
Yeah.
So that was a classic.
That really strengthened us as a unit.
I think that, like, solidified our friendship, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I guess the moral of the story is if you're a freshman and you have the opportunity to go drive to the national meet, just go. Go with your friends. It'll be fun.
Or
and if not,
teammate.
yeah. Because it's worth it. I think that was, like, one of my best memories in college.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next topic. Pros and cons of rooming with your teammates in college.
I definitely think the pros outweigh the cons, especially for us.
I think pro is, like, you're on the same schedule and it kind of keeps you accountable to go to bed early and, like, do all the little things maybe. But then a con would be you literally might talk about running way too much and, like,
or you're just, like, with them 24/7.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever really genuinely got sick of you guys.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, there's, like, things, like, I'd be like, oh, she's pissing me off today. But it's, like, that's part of just, like, being sisterhood.
Yeah.
I feel like we are also all very different athletes in the sense that, like, I think I was very laissez-faire with, like, stretching and, like, rolling out and drills. And, like, Morgan, you're very on top of your stretching and rolling out. And then, like, then you had Amalia, who's very, like, conscious of her sleep and, like,
eating correctly.
Not getting sick. Yeah, so, like, that, like, I feel like we all kind of balanced each other out in that sense that, like, it would have been hard if we would have had, like, all 3 people that were very, like, thought about running and, like, training the same way, because then I feel like it, like, would have just, like, the little things would have become big things, like, when you keep thinking about it. We tend to, like, egg each other on.
Yeah.
And so, like, if it's, like, little things, you egg each other on, and, like, it's bigger than it needs to be. So
I honestly think that, like, both of you helped me gain, like, a healthier approach to running. Like, just all around, because freshman year, like, I wasn't running because I was pretty injured, like, that cross-country season, but then I would travel with you guys to, like, different meets, and, like, I used to always be, like, I have to have spaghetti before I race, like, I have to do these, like, certain things, and, like, I saw, like, the way you guys did it, and it was, like, a little different every time, and I was, like, I started to think, like, oh, shoot, like, maybe you don't have to do that, you know? And then I was, like, a little bit, like, this is, like, I've never, like, told you guys this before, but, like, I was too scared once I did start racing to, like, be like, no, I want to do it this way, or whatever. And so I would just almost be forced to do it a different way, and then I learned that I actually could still race fast. So, like, I actually feel like you guys helped me, like, not be so like, rigid, you know? Which is, like, kind of a really good thing, but, yeah.
Aw. Yeah.
That's a pro. But, yeah, that's all.
I'm trying to think of a con. I think, like, maybe a con is, like, I think it's really, even, like, with us, even though we became really good friends, like, it's hard not to compare yourself to each other.
That's a good one.
Maybe. Like, especially, like, we're, like, for us, like, we were all doing the same training, we were all eating the exact same thing most of the time, we were all getting probably the same amount of sleep because we were on such, like, we were very good about, like, sleeping, doing, like, all of that, like, not really going out, and, like, it's hard and not even that, like, you're mad at the person for running good, but, like, you're just, like, when is it going to be my turn?
Yeah.
You know? Like, I've been waiting, like, we're doing the same thing. Why hasn't, like, a good race come for me? Like, not like that you're hating on the person or, like, hoping to do bad, but you're also just hoping that you can do good, too. And so, like, that can be frustrating. So
I think that really, like, played out in cross-country a lot. Because especially, you know, like, our junior year when we're all trying to make the team, and it's super competitive at Adams, and it's, like, we all were rooming together, all doing the same thing. We had been in the program for, like, 3 years at that point. And then it was, like, COVID was finally over, and so it was, like, time to, like, do something. And then when it played out differently, like, for all of us, I think, like, that was probably just, like, difficult, you know? Or, like, even in, like, the coming years, too, like, in track. Like, if we're all in, like, a 1500 or we're all in a 5K, and it's, like, why am I having a bad season of running when, like, they're not, you know? But, so I think that's a good point. But then realizing that there's, like, so many factors that play into it all. Like, in that, like, yeah, I feel like just going to Adams State is, like, hard, you know? Because it's, like, you're always trying to compare yourself and be the best. And it's, like, nobody came to Adams to run slow, you know?
Yeah.
So I could definitely see where you get that from. But, yeah.
Yeah. But overall, I think it was good. We'd all be up at 6 a.m. together. We'd all be going to weights together. We'd all be cooking dinner together.
I feel like sometimes we'd fight over the shower, you know? Like, after a cold long run, all of us want to get in the hot shower. But it was really nice. When we all lived in the, like, a bigger apartment with, like, 4 rooms, there was 2 bathrooms, so...
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. But, yeah. Okay. Okay, this is funny. For each of us, we can do a pet peeve about living with each other, and then our favorite thing about living with each other.
You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want me to do one for... Okay, my pet peeve for Amalia. No, should I start with the good?
No, you finish on the good.
Okay. Pet peeve for Amalia would be... Oh my gosh. Okay, this is probably the biggest one. Our freshman year, we'd go down to the caf, and she would have, like, her plate of vegetables with chickpeas and carrots and whatever. And we would be down there forever, and all of us would be ready to go back up to the dorm, but we have to wait for Amalia to eat one chickpea at a time. Oh, that was crazy. And, like, I remember, like, me and Raina were like, this girl needs to, like, what is wrong with her? So, yeah, or, like, it would piss me off when you would, like, your eating habits were just so different than mine, but you'd have to pick through the jar of peanuts and get the halves or the wholes or whatever, and I was like, can she just shut up? Like, so, those would probably be my pet peeves about you. But then I think my favorite thing about living with you would be probably nothing. I'm just kidding. Geez. I just think, like, just being, like, living with Amalia would, like, we would be able to just train together a lot, you know? Like, even in the summer when we lived together, it was just me and Amalia living. Like, we would just, like, go train, and, like, it was always, I think, really productive. Like, I think, like, you're a really good motivator, and, like, you're, like, very set in your ways, so it's like, no, I'm gonna do this way. And, like, you would, like, inspire me to, like, follow a little bit, you know? And, like, actually do the full long run or something instead of, like, cutting it. So, like, I think that, like, was a good thing for me. Because then when I didn't live with you, I was like, I don't care that much, like, you know? But just, like, being in that the whole time was, I think, a good thing. So.
Wow.
And then that one, Reina, girl. Okay. My pet peeve about you. Oh, this is hard, guys. I need to think.
I know. I'm trying to get mine ready.
Oh my
gosh. Okay, then you go.
Okay, I think that I'll do Morgan's first. I think my pet peeve about Morgan sometimes is Morgan is very excitable. Like, she gets super excited to hang out with people and, like, do things. And so, like, she's very, like, her energy, like, thrives off of other, like, seeing people, which I don't know if I'm the same way. So, like, in the mornings, Morgan's just so amped to go to practice and, like, so excited to see people. And it's, like, 5:30 in the morning, and she'll be like, hello, world! Like, I'm here! And I'm like, shut up. Like, it is 6 in the morning. Like, you need to shut up. Like, I remember, like, morning practice, I could not walk with them. Like, I would be, like, 5 feet behind them or, like, 10 feet behind them because Morgan would just be so loud and, like, I'm probably just excited to be at practice. I'd be like, girl, you need to be quiet.
I mean, fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, probably that. But then my favorite thing about living with Morgan is she's very excited to hang out with people. And so I think, like, she pushes all of her friends to, like, step outside of their comfort zone a little bit and, like, be a little bit more social. So, like,
Aww.
I definitely did a lot more things because of Morgan, like, maybe just, like, gone and played pickleball, or not pickleball, like, spike ball with some friends, or, like, she was very spontaneous, so pushed me outside of my comfort zone for those.
That's cute.
And then for Amalia, my pet peeve is not even her, it's probably whiskey, which Amalia carries the baggage of whiskey. Whiskey is a little devil. Whiskey, the worst thing would be, like, when it's literally 1 in the morning and you can hear whiskey. One background, Whiskey's Amalia's cat, and background of Whiskey is he's very food driven. Like, he loves human food. No matter, like, what you do, you cannot deter him from food. And so it'd be, like, 1 in the morning and you'd hear things in the kitchen, like, falling down, and you'd come out in the morning and you'd be like, what the hell? Like, Whiskey just ate my raw pasta, like, cooked, like, or, like, oh my god, like, we Whiskey proofed the apartment and he still, like, was smart enough to get into things. So, like, I'd go out of my room and I'd see Whiskey literally, like, would have eaten all my chips. What the hell? So,
he's terrible.
Amalia. But my favorite thing about living with Amalia is I feel like Amalia was, like, kind of like what Morgan said, like a dreamer. If there's one thing Amalia can do is, like, convince you to, like, literally do anything. Like, she believes in things with her whole heart, and, like, she'll convince you that, like, you should believe in things with your whole heart, even if, like, sometimes I'll know the information's not true, but she'll be like, no, I'm telling you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so that's probably my favorite thing.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
You have to gaslight yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, I can go. So then you'll go last, Morgan. Okay. I'll go Reina first. My pet peeve about Reina isn't really about Reina, but since you were a nursing major, like, you couldn't always hang out or, like, be hanging out with us all the time because you'd be, like, gone late or up early or gone all day or something. And I was like, like, I just want to hang out with Reina. And she's, like, gone. Like,
I remember one time you guys wanted me to go hang out with you so bad after I got off of clinical, and I was like, guys, I can't go. And you were like, we'll get you beef noodle soup. That was, like, my favorite thing from that restaurant in Ataya. And I was like, guys, no.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd be like, aw, she's sleeping because she worked a 12-hour night shift, but I wish she'd just wake up so we could hang out. So I was actually nursing. That was my pet peeve, but
yeah, and then my favorite all of ours
is probably the opposite of what yours is for me. Like, you would calm me down. Like, sometimes I'd be like, oh, like, I can't take a day off, or like, oh, like, what if I don't make it, or like, what if I run slow or something, and you'd be like, well, doesn't matter. I'm like, oh, right, you're right. It doesn't actually really matter. But, like, calming me down, because otherwise, like, I was like, oh my gosh, a day off, I'm gonna die. But then I'd be like, well, Reina takes a day off every week, and so I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mine for Reina.
Aww.
And then Morgan, I don't know how to describe this, but, like, I don't even, like, this is more of a pet peeve of me and you, but I think, like, sometimes we just, like, convince each other that, like, things, like, not in a good way. We'd be like, I'd be like, oh, did you see that, like, we saw Shelby Houlihan do, 17 miles at 5-minute pace?
And we're like,
we should
do that.
And we're like, yeah, we should try to do as fast as we can. And I'd be like, okay, we have to do as fast as we can, or we're never going to be fast.
Good. Yeah, like, no. We actually are so bad together.
Yeah, and then that just wasn't true. But, like, for so many things, like, I don't even know, like, other things would be like, yeah, I have to ice my leg every 5 minutes for the next 12 hours, or, like, I'm not going to run well. And be like, yeah, wait, we should do that. We need to do that.
No, that actually is true. We're terrible together.
I don't even know, like, we've gotten better, but.
Yeah.
That was but then my favorite thing is, I always had you to run. Like, I knew you'd always be going for the run.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Sometimes other people didn't want to always, like, run or stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I know Morgan will always go out there, and even if she's on death's doorstep, she's going to try to do it with you. So,
yeah. Aw. Running buddies for life. Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Reina, I think my biggest pet peeve would either be your hair getting everywhere all the time.
Okay. That's an issue even now. I live with my fiance AJ, and it's I don't even know how I have hair, to be honest.
Everywhere. Black Reina hair everywhere.
Yeah, it's
still find it.
Yeah, like
laundry or something.
Like, you come hang out in my room and then boom, hair. I was like,
still like that.
Bruh. So that's probably mine for you. But then, what is it? What do we call it? Just the thing we loved about each other. It's very similar to Molly, but, like, I cry a lot and I'm very emotional. And Reina will be the first person to, like, talk me off my ledge, you know? And she'll be like, you're fine. Or, like, I remember the cross-country season, I was really injured. And I'd be like, no, Reina, I need to go, like, bike for 3 hours every single day. And, like, you'd be like, I don't think you realize that, like, you actually have talent and, like, you can kind of fake it a little bit. And kind of, kind of very similar to Amalia, which me and Amalia can't do this for each other, but Reina can be, like, remind us of, like, what we actually are capable of. And I think that's, like, living with that was super important for me, because I'm always in tears, but... And then, like, even this season when I'm, like, realizing that I don't need to train as hard, I'm like, Reina, I actually feel so good. And she's like, what have I been telling you? This entire college career of yours, you work out too hard. And I was like, well, I should have listened to you, but... So, yeah. But, anyways, I guess to finish this up, let's chat about the different areas, like, where we're all at and how it is, like, now that we don't live in Alamos all together, and, like, just how that is.
I guess they heard enough about us. We always talk about what we're doing, but Reina, what are you doing? And you're not running anymore, and you live with your fiance.
Yeah, so I don't run. I actually still have a year and a half left of eligibility, but I didn't use it. I honestly probably just didn't have the passion that Morgan and Amalia did for running. So now I don't really run as much. I'm a Pilates princess. I go to Pilates once a week and, like, occasionally run. Like, today, me and Amalia ran. So I'm just kind of like a hobby jogger now. But yeah, I'm a nurse, so I'm a pediatric nurse right now, and I love it. And I love my life. I moved out here in March of last year, so I've been here for a year. And
we had the most dramatic goodbye.
I know, yeah. I moved in with my boyfriend, who's now my fiance, and we're getting married in August. So that's exciting. And it's kind of like, that's kind of crazy to think of. Like, we were all, like, literally random people that were paired together, and now you guys are going to be my wedding. So it's like, I don't know, like, besties forever. So, but yeah, that's kind of my life. It's not very exciting. I hang out, go to Pilates, go to work. I'm trying to convince AJ to get a dog. But we'll see that.
I'm for the dog. Yeah. I think you should get the dog.
But yeah, and then, like, me and Amalia actually are pretty close. We're 30 minutes, but, like, I feel like just with life, and now that, like, we are not on the same team, and Alamosa is very small, so it's very easy to hang out with your friends in Alamosa. Like, honestly, what would you say? We see each other, like, probably every 3 weeks, Amalia?
Yeah, like, maybe once every 2 weeks. Sometimes we see each other a lot, like 4 times in 1 week. And then I won't see you for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even like scheduling this was so hard with all three of us, you know?
Lives.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's been good. I honestly can say that I don't miss college athletics. And I love being a hobby jogger. So that's my life. Yeah.
I love that.
You're so fast though, so.
Yeah, Reina still can ball out in the half marathon.
Yeah, like we were going like 7:50 today, just chatting in the wind. So
yeah, I'm trying to find the motivation to run a full marathon because last year I watched the Boston Marathon and it was like literally like was the coolest thing ever. So I'm trying to find the motivation to train for a marathon, but we'll see if it ever comes. It might not.
It's gonna happen.
So yeah.
And now we just
wait all the time.
Jump scare. But now we just FaceTime and now we just are in a group chat all together and try to keep Oh my gosh! If you have a distance friendship, you should get this thing called Letter Loop.
It's fun, yeah.
This is what we all do in our little friend group. And it kind of just updates and sends like an email once a month and you get to just like update your life and your favorite songs, which it's just really fun. So plug that.
I like that, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it was good. I'm happy that you guys had me on the pod. I'll never be able to listen to it because I can't listen to my own voice. But
Same.
you know, I was good to like relive memories.
Yeah, this is actually fun. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right. Well, that's all. Thanks for tuning in. This was a longer one, but
yeah. We'll catch you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.